Welcome into another episode of the Beach Please podcast. I'm Danielle here with Lenore.
Hello, hello.
Glad to have y'all joining us, and we have a great episode for you today because we're going to be talking with the founder of the Champion Autism Network. Lenore, we're going to learn some great stuff.
She is so amazing, and a lot of things that I hope we get out of this conversation is just planning a trip with a family that has someone with autism in it. And you know, a lot of people don't think about it in that way, but when you're a short-term rental owner, there are some things that you can do and maybe be educated on. It'll make your guest trip even better.
Yeah, she offers like trainings and all these like different things, even like an autism travel club. So really like a lot to cover with her in this episode. Yeah. So it's going to be really great. But y'all know, before we bring in our guest, we like to give a shout out to a restaurant with a drink you must try. So we normally do cocktails, but I think this one's coffee.
Yes, and I can pronounce all of the ingredients, which I'm super excited about.
All right, who are we talking about today?
We are talking about Winna's Kitchen today.
So good.
They are so good. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a lot out there on social media, and there's a reason why. So today's drink is a white chocolate vanilla latte with cinnamon on top.
Yeah, did they make it for me? Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Multiple times. She had to go back and try it several times.
Yep.
If you don't know Winna's Kitchen, they do breakfast, they do brunch, they have lunch also. It's really like a Southern comfort type of style. They also have a bakery. Amazing bakery items there, specialty coffees like the one that we're talking about today, and they also have a new seasonal menu. So if you haven't been there recently, please go try it.
Yeah, when I was in there, oh, go ahead. I interrupted her.
No, I got more. I got more.
She got more to say.
So they have a chicken salad sandwich.
Ooh.
That's really, really good. So go on with what you were saying, though.
Well, that was, their chicken salad. I think I saw that's like their top seller or something. And
it's
I don't know if they ever get rid of that. That might be like a year-round thing. I don't know. We're going to have to ask them and find out. But yeah, they do have, when I was in there filming, that's when they were about to announce their seasonal menu. So some good stuff on there. Some new specialty coffees.
Yes, absolutely.
Some new creations on there.
Their vision is have fun, eat well, do good is what Winna's is all about. So if you haven't been, or if you haven't been in a while, please go and check them out.
There you go. Go check them out. Really awesome spot. And now we're about to welcome our guest. Super excited about it.
All right.
We are joined now with Becky Large. She is the founder of Champion Autism Network and also Autism Travel Club. We are so excited to have you, Becky. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, very excited to chat with her today all about this great organization that you have. So that's where we're going to start. Champion Autism Network. Tell us how it started, you founded it, all that good stuff.
So it started as a concept in 2013. We relocated from southern New Jersey in the spring of 2012. And there's all these wonderful organizations that support the person with autism, but really not any organization to support the family unit. Autism can be really isolating. People with autism can become stressed, and it might trigger meltdowns, and a lot of times it happens when you're outside of the home. And then we're met with judgment, right, by the public at large. You know, your child's spoiled, you're a horrible parent, when really we're a family in crisis. So many families opt to stay home, which isn't good for anybody. So we kind of started with sensory-friendly movies in the spring of 2013, and we had them monthly for 10 or 11 years, really kind of fun. They've stopped since the ownership at the Grand 14 has changed, but it was such a wonderful opportunity for our families to come out and understand that they could trust us, right? We knew how to serve them, and they asked what else there was. And we took surveys and collected data, and the number one thing our families wanted to do was to be able to go out to a restaurant. So we wrote a grant with SOS Cares back then, and received funding to start educating area restaurants on the needs and accommodations of our families. That was just for Horry County. So I was on the Surfside Beach Business Committee, and as we're moving forward to, into 2015, I said, if we're doing all this for our local families, why don't we just invite the whole autism world to come play with us at the beach? We're really always looking to kind of differentiate ourselves. And that, got legs. And then the town council of Surfside Beach issued the proclamation in January of 2016, saying, stating that they were an autism-friendly travel destination, and it happened to be the first in the world. And then since then, we've just kind of been off and running and, growing the program and, but still serving our families with our public awareness campaigns, which are really important because if you're going to invite the autism world to come out and play, the public at large needs to know who's coming, right? So we can reduce the judgment and be more supportive. And then speaking engagements around the community and our sensory-friendly events, of course, continued with the movies. And now we've got ongoing sensory-friendly events every month at Ripley's Aquarium and Myrtle Beach bowling alley for our sensory-friendly birthday bowling bashes, jumps at Big Air, all kinds of fun things. And then we have semi-annual events at the state park, and then Christmas parties and just all kinds of ongoing sensory-friendly things. So there's always something for our local and tourist families.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I know, so much cool stuff. And so it's got to be 10 years since this all began, because you mentioned 2016.
Yes.
So celebrating 10 years here this year.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Really. And that's the town of Surfside's proclamation. The city of Myrtle Beach and Horry County followed suit in 2018, so they're a little bit behind, but we can have another party and celebrate that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Can we talk more about now the Autism Travel Club part of it all? Because people traveling with autism, that started what year? Did you bring that into everything?
So, when we had the autism-friendly travel proclamation declared, it kind of, CAN kind of took that on.
Okay.
But it was for this market only, for this area only. And it became too much for this little nonprofit to handle, right? Because of the training materials and the modules, and there's all kinds of upkeep. So we started, it started as Lead with Love training company, because we say, knowing about autism, it's not rocket science. You just need to lead with love, sort of. And so we spun that off and we started the Lead with Love training company, which has now morphed into the Autism Travel Club because it speaks a little bit more to what we're trying to do. So we have the Autism Traveler app where our families can see the participating businesses, those that are autism ready and aware, they've taken our training, and they also offer a service or a discount to our families. Johnny D's, for instance. If you get there and there's a wait, and you show them the Autism Traveler app, you check in there, you get to the head of the line, they expedite your order, they know where to seat you and how to treat you, and then then you get a 10% off discount as well. So I kind of call it the AAA of autism travel.
Yeah.
And how would a business get involved in something like that? Amazing for Johnny D's. They're a great restaurant. How would another restaurant, with all of the restaurants that we have that are up and coming, how do you get involved? So
if you wanted to be part of the Autism Travel Club, you would go to autismtravel.club and go onto under businesses where you can take the training. You can enroll in training based on whatever you mentioned restaurants. So we have a restaurant module so that the business enrolls in the program. It's $297 for up to 300 seats, and that's for 2 years. And they get a link to give to their employees to take the online module. We can also do in-person trainings if they'd like, but there's an additional fee involved with that.
Okay. So for businesses that maybe have never heard of this, I kind of feel like it's like you don't know what you don't know when it comes to autism, because some people might have a personal experience with it and some people might not know anything about it. Maybe they don't know one person that has autism. So how can you I guess, get educated on it to like you have no experience with it, but you want to know more so your business can be open to everybody.
Well, I think that you would enroll for the training, right?
Okay.
They've been made, very thoughtfully with ABA providers and years of experience, of course, from a parental aspect, and that each module. I said it was industry specific. So we've got retail, we have, restaurants, we have activities providers, attractions and different bundles, short-term rental. There you go. We got the short-term rental thing because there are things to know when these special people are coming to your business. And so we do have a general module, but it's not specific. We give tips and tricks and tools in each module for industry specific so that people understand. They're like, oh, okay. Like one thing is that I mentioned with Johnny D's is if there's a wait, you get to the head of the line. The reason why that's important is that people with autism many times have comorbidities where they might have ADHD and have a really difficult time standing in a line. Yeah. And so like that's one thing. So, if you think about checking in at a resort, when you go at check-in time, the long lines and all this. So, we ask resorts and hotels if they would be willing to do kind of a curbside check-in or make some sort of accommodations to alleviate that stress from the person with autism, and that is a trickle-down effect to alleviate stress for the family as well.
You mentioned, so we work a lot with short-term rental owners, property managers. So I guess can we touch a little bit more on them? So say you have a house and you rent it out. What could you do to make that autism-friendly?
So really, when you talk about short-term rentals, I think of it more as from a safety perspective, right? So it's almost like a safety plan that you want to, if you're going to get owners involved, certainly there's like a list that is just ridiculously long of things that you could do, like down to, paint colors, but then getting paint that doesn't have the chemicals in it and rugs that don't have, like all these different nth degree things where, we start really high level because we're just grateful that to have your attention and support. And so anything you can do for us is so appreciated. So, it's more of like safety considerations, like if there is a runner or an eloper, is the house on a busy street? Because that child might they don't recognize danger a lot of times, so they might run out into the street. So providing information to educate the businesses and the homeowners, right? And also providing information of supports and accommodations to our families so that there can be a good match. They know like, okay, this short-term rental isn't necessarily for us, but this one could be because it's got, the special door locks or something like that.
I know we have some like brochures or some. Do you have those on you? Yeah.
Well, she's got a lot of resources available for families. So I really wanted to talk about that as well. One of them is the planning for the vacation for the family.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that and why that would be useful for a family planning a trip.
So 70 to 80% of families with autism do not travel. They don't. And so when I went on a crazy vacation, life-altering and not too much fun back in 2015, and came back not wanting. I didn't have a roadmap, right? I had an idea of one, but for families who are planning a trip and they've never done it before, like I would have loved to have had this resource. Just even to promote thought and, oh my gosh, don't forget this, don't forget that. These are really important things, which might to the average family or person seem like okay, but we are dealing with so many different minute to minute, your life could just blow apart, and then running around different doctor's appointments and so many different details that can throw us off course. To have a place and a resource to go to would have been really helpful. So we developed the vacation planning roadmap for our families. We're copious note takers, so we have this whole thing. When you talk to people, you make phone calls, you send emails, and then on the inside is kind of like a little gamified how to plan your trip. You know, go, stay, eat, and play, and what different factors you want to consider when you're planning your trip. And then you can then go also sign up for the Autism Traveler app, which is on the Google Play and the Apple iOS store. So the Autism Traveler app provides you with an opportunity to create your family's travel profile, right? What do they prefer? You might not know what you prefer, but, you know, at least, you know, the goal is to capture information and then to provide you with different businesses or areas that you might want to consider going to. And once you do your profile, you then get access to, well, there's a free version of the app where anyone can see the businesses that are participating. But if you want to take advantage and get the discounts and the special offers, you have to become a member, a paid member, and it's $4.99 a month. And the goal is that, you know, with the discounts and offers and supports and services, that you make up that $4.99 a month pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a second one too. What's
That's the destination planning roadmap, which is also could be used for resorts, because resorts can sometimes be their own destination. And that includes, it has all of the different modules that we offer, and then those are the modules. Every module has a pre and post survey, so we can measure efficacy, and quizzes throughout for the employees. And at the end, every employee gets a certificate of completion, so they can take that with them, because everyone who learns anything about autism is a pebble in the pond, right? You know, so they might leave their job at Johnny D's and go to Walmart grocery shopping and witness a tantrum or a meltdown. And rather than being judgmental, they might be like, "Can I help you with anything?" And then on the inside is just a roadmap of what the destination should consider and think about, you know, if they wanted to become autism ready.
Yeah. And you mentioned a lot sensory friendly. I feel like a lot of people hear that sensory friendly. Can we explain like what exactly is sensory friendly?
So a lot of people with autism have sensory issues, whether it's they're sensitive to sounds, lights, tastes and textures, touch, feel, all these different things. So, you know, lightness to darkness. So when we talk about sensory friendly, we kind of go through, like, say, the movies, for instance. When you go to a movie, let's say the biggest action thriller, you can't wait to get there. You stand in line, you get your popcorn and your snacks, and then you go sit down, you find your seat, and it's dark, and you can feel it pounding, you know, the bass and all these different things pounding in your chest. Well, that can be like a real trigger for people with autism. First of all, waiting in line, I mentioned, is just like not going to, you know, they really hate that.
Yeah.
And then walking into a dark theater can be really off-putting and scary, and, you know, and then with the lights being down and then the loud noises and all that can also be a trigger. So sensory-friendly movies, and sitting still for that long. Don't forget sitting still.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because we all know we try and not go to the bathroom if we can avoid it.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to disrupt anybody else. So sensory-friendly movies are where the whole family, the lights are up, the sound is down, and the people are free to move around. So it's really not your traditional movie viewing experience at all, but it's one that our families, when they came and they saw this, they were so excited, and that's when they asked what else there was, and then it just kind of took off from there.
Is that still something that they offer?
So I believe so. Not what we were doing is new movie releases, like first run shows, which they've opted not to continue. And so I do believe that throughout the summer, they offer free movies 1 or 2 mornings a week. And I believe that either one of, I'm not sure if they both offer sensory friendly or if just the one.
Okay. Gotcha. If you are a parent and you have an autistic child, and I know you mentioned earlier about the travel, you said like 70 to 80% will not travel.
Correct.
So you are showing them there is resources to travel.
Yes.
That parent comes to you, they're just like, what do I do? I mean, what do you say to them? Because you have, I think both of you have personal experiences with autism in your family. Someone, it's new to them, they just found out their child has it. What do you say to ease them and let them know, like, you can still do things with autism?
that is in my mind is such a loaded question,
know.
right? It's because I get emails and phone calls, every day about this kind of type thing. And so it's different levels, right? If it's, we're like the family's intact and they want to take a vacation, they've never done it before. How do we best go about that? Direct them to the website, check that out. Let us know if you need anything else, right? That kind of, you're not alone, supports and assistance. And I think a lot of, like I said, communicating expectations helps them. Then we go to, like maybe a more extreme case as far as helping someone where the child's been diagnosed, but the father does not want to acknowledge the diagnosis or something. And it becomes a little bit more of, we are a resource and who to talk to and how to handle that, because it's 85% of marriages with autism end in divorce. So wow. There's a lot. There's just a lot. So, just besides the daily life thing. But I think the biggest thing is that we communicate with everybody. We let people know what they can expect. And then hopefully it seems like everybody who's taken the training and has participated has done a wonderful job. You figure we've been doing this 10 years and it's only been growing. So thank you everybody to this community. It's quite amazing. Mm-hmm. And the other big, thing to locals, tourists, whatever, autism families, you're not alone. Yeah. Like we get you, we know you, we understand you, we want to support you, we want to make things better for your person with autism so it makes things better for your family.
Yeah. What are some things that I guess both of you have found maybe around this area or on vacation that you're like, oh, this is great for a family with autism. More people should know about this.
I mean, for me, sadly, there wasn't something like Becky's organization when my child was growing up. He's 35, by the way. So shout out to him. But yeah, I didn't have any resources. You had to kind of wing it and handle it in the moment. And that's really scary. And I think that's why this organization is so important. Had I had known what I know now, it would have been planned differently and, maybe understood a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So for me, we just didn't have it. How about for you, Becky?
Well, when we relocated here, we had, a life up in New Jersey, and people who kind of understood. Even our family wasn't quite on board with it, but we had friends and we had a nice little lifestyle. And then we came down here and it was much different. Like where we came from was a walking school district, bucolic. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And then we moved to Surfside, and it's all busing and all these other like huge considerations that we didn't know, and no supports or anything. So starting from that base level of knowledge, and then of course taking the vacation in 2015 really launched us into the travel space. And it was just out of knowing that there was all these families who were feeling trapped at home. And that was unacceptable to me. And what I say to my son is, but for him, this wouldn't have started, but it's grown so much bigger and beyond him now,
And helping so many families, I think
it's pretty fun. Yeah. When I think about it, like, I'm actually like, wow, really?
Yeah. No, it is. It's so important.
How do you define autism to someone?
Well, really, it's a communication disorder. And I think that's where, the tantrums and meltdowns come in, because even people who are with autism, who are verbal, have tantrums and meltdowns, because that is a form of communication, not on purpose. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not putting this into words. I'm just going to throw a fit. No, that's not what it is. It's like that is somebody who is in actual physical or emotional, some sort of pain. And it's our job to figure out how to... We might not be able to figure out how to stop the pain, but to stop this incident before it gets, because some can get, kind of out of control, where nothing short of a can of gasoline and a pack of matches won't cure it. So, we're really trying to teach people to see the signs, and if we can avoid them, and if not, how to react and what to do.
Yeah. I guess for the both of you, what are some signs you first noticed autism signs?
I can speak for myself, I guess, because I am also. You know, there's a lot of things now that I think about it, whether it was because I was so silent as a child and I didn't understand why people didn't get that. But then also things like what I wear. There's certain things that the feel of it, certain noises will like set me off into like panic. And then I have a very dry sense of humor. I tell it like it is. I didn't get why people didn't understand my sense of humor, but it's just, you're laughing because you get it.
No, my son last night, I said something about this place that has wood-fired pizza. And my son goes, "What? Pizza got fired?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, you just said wood-fired pizza." And I was like, "Oh,
What?
right,
Yeah.
Right.
right."
Like it's wood fired.
Yeah, it was just really, that the dry sense of humor. Like he picks up on things like that, and the different lens, which is I appreciate and think is awesome.
It's very, even my son has it, very witty. I call it witty. My grandpa was the same way. He would just out of nowhere just pick up something and say it, and you were like, he is like either the next Don Rickles or, you know what I mean, just very, very funny to me. But just things like that, you know, you just start noticing as you're looking back, I guess, for me, that, oh, well, now it makes sense, where before it didn't. So it's very freeing when that mask comes off and you're like, oh, okay, I'm allowed to be that. So yeah, I mean, for my son, I didn't notice at all. Like I said, he told me that he was, because I was so much like him, I couldn't recognize it.
Yeah, and I know you have. So your son is on this spectrum. You are as well, and you both kind of look back at things, and you're like, oh, that's adding up now. Like,
that tracks. I get it now, but back then, it was never really something that was discussed.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't any science behind it, especially for women.
Oh yeah.
So there was no resources or anyone to say
you were just a good girl. You were a good girl.
I was quiet,
good girl. Yep.
Quiet until you knew me, and then my mouth was slick.
Right. Oh yeah. Did you get a little salty?
Yes, absolutely.
Witty and salty.
Yes. And it takes a lot to get to know me, and I don't understand that either.
Well,
Okay.
I feel like now, like you said, like back then, people wouldn't really talk about it. I feel like now people are talking about it, especially with like the Netflix series Love on the Spectrum. I think they've had 3 or 4. They've had a few seasons out now. Like, and I feel like that got people talking about it. People, know those people on that show. So I feel like now people know autism and know a little bit more about it. Where it's like if you hear the word, you don't automatically like, whoa, like autism,
Right. Yeah. Well, and of course the current administration and they've, put kind of like a magnifying glass on the whole thing. Definitely more awareness, for sure. And then, the other TV show was, of course, Traveling the Spectrum, that was filmed here and based on the program, right?
Was it?
Yeah, it was based on the program that I created. And because we have a partnership with the Chamber and the Myrtle Beach CVB. So they developed the show, Traveling the Spectrum, on Peacock. And now they've finished filming and editing now seasons 2 and 3. I don't know when that will be released, but season 1 is on Peacock.
Okay, so you can watch that one on Peacock.
Yes,
okay, I have Peacock, so I have all the apps, all the streaming.
Yeah, right. But it was really well done and a great show, and it highlights 3 families who have not taken a vacation before to come experience, 3 autism families, experience supported vacation here. One family stayed in North Myrtle Beach, one in Myrtle Beach, and one in Surfside Beach. And they just chose their different experiences and levels of autism, and really well done.
So you can find, because like the Grand Strand, like it can take you, an hour, 45 minutes just to go to the whole other part of it. So in each area, you can find things, would you say?
Yeah, primarily though, Myrtle Beach has the most.
Okay.
Of every town or city has, lodging options and things like that, and some restaurants and things. But, we have families travel from Florence and Charleston to come up to our sensory-friendly events, because there isn't anything else like it. So our families are used to traveling, and actually 70% drive. We're a giant drive market because we pack, so we have to be prepared for anything. I kind of call it the princess and the pea, right? You have to bring like your whole house with you. So most of us do drive. So we're a large drive market, and we just try and focus on that as well.
What are these? So you mentioned events. What are some of these events that go on?
Well, we have the sensory-friendly jumps at Big Air, sensory-friendly visits to Ripley's Aquarium, the sensory-friendly birthday bowling bashes at Myrtle Beach Bowl. I know I'm forgetting something because I always do.
I'm sure it's online.
Doing Dave and Buster's, yes. ChampionAutismNetwork.com or Champion Autism Network on Facebook on our events page.
Yeah. So really anybody can take this training to get more educated on it. Because, anybody could, just like me, I'd be like, I want to learn more, just see how, I can maybe notice more. So you want to take the training, you just go over to the website? Okay.
Autismtravel.club, and then there's under Get Involved, there's 4 businesses. You just click on that and you select whatever module you want to take. So you guys definitely should take the short-term rental module. You can help to guide your property owners on what can be done. And then as an extension to that, we also have a partnership with Becoming Rentable, which is all accessibility issues. We're just autism, not even all intellectual disabilities. We just really focus on autism. Of course, there are comorbidities, like I mentioned, which, some people with autism are in wheelchairs and have accessibility issues. But so Becoming Rentable covers all of that. You can get your property certified for all of those, for all the different disabilities if you choose to.
What happens, so if I'm a short-term rental owner and I want to take part in this, how do I designate, or what designates me as being autism-friendly or autism-ready?
Well, you would put that on your listing. We can give you a website badge.
Okay.
And you can put it on your listing,
Nice.
That you're part of that. And then you would have a listing on the website as well.
Cool.
Very good.
And how long, so once you sign up for the training, how long does that usually take to get through all of it?
Oh, the short-term rental module? It's really short.
Okay.
It's like 12 minutes.
Short-term rentals.
Short-term. But, and then you're provided with a list of possible accommodations and what you can and will offer. And so that's also part of the package. And so it gives you food for thought, or you can check off what you're willing to do.
Awesome. So plenty of resources for people out there. Best way is going to your website, and then really just whatever you're looking for, you can probably find on your website.
Right. And if you can't, you just contact me. There's a way to contact me, and I'll get back and, make sure that you're pointed in the right direction.
Yep. With all your questions.
Got it.
There you go, right there.
I'm here to serve.
Well, anything else, Lenore, before I...
No, just thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of support out there.
Yep, a lot of great things she's doing. Of course, we have to end with a little fun rapid fire questions for Becky. Okay, you've been living in Myrtle Beach. How long, you said, in the area?
14 years.
Okay, yeah, so she'll know how to answer these questions. Yeah,
I think
local, Okay, so seafood buffet or steakhouse?
Steakhouse.
Which one?
Angelo's.
Hey!
That sizzling plate comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
I
gosh.
like their filet mignon.
There you go.
Best steaks in the universe.
Well, and they're really, really good to our families. Like, as far as the restaurant goes, they take the training, and they have. Well, when you talk to these businesses, I'm sorry, this is
actually great info.
Okay, so when you go into these businesses, a lot of people have their own ideas of how they want to support. Like if they really have a servant's heart, which is lovely. Angelo, servant's heart. So we were talking about, waiting in the line and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, we have this dining room that never gets used. It's got its own little thing, has its own entrance from the outside. So if you're a member, you call up and you're like, hey, I want to reserve the dining room. We'll get there around 5:00. And all you have to do is let them know when you arrive, and they'll come around and open the side door for you. And then the servers all have taken the training, and they're wonderful and lovely. And then you just have your own private, whatever dining experience you want to have. And then you can leave through the side door. And
that's
was
so cool.
just...
I never knew that.
Well, why would you?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, these are, like, you learn so much.
It's on the website.
Yeah, that's what
it is on the website. So our families
learn
know.
so much.
And they've used it. And so it's really, really special.
Shout
so,
out
like,
to Angela.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There's a lot of good steakhouses, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, we get loved on there.
Right.
No, that's I actually grew up going there as a kid. So I've gone there, like, forever.
Yeah,
so it's just cool, like, the things you learn about these places. And, it makes sense because I know the owner. And I'm like, yes. Like, I totally see that. That's so awesome. Okay, what instantly tells you someone's a tourist?
They're white as a sheet, or they're sunburned.
Either
or they say Horry County.
We've gotten that one before.
Yes.
Somebody said that before, yeah.
That is so true. All right, well, we just talked about a restaurant. Is there another restaurant you would defend with your life here? Like, you will always hype this place up no matter what?
I guess Angelo's or Johnny D's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Angelo's is dinner and Johnny D's is breakfast. So there we go. Yep.
And that's funny because I love both of those too.
I know. Like what's not to love? Like, honestly. And, the chef owner of Johnny D's has a child on the spectrum.
Yeah, and she's very, like, she shares her story all the time.
Oh, yeah, she's amazing. Jamie Descalis, everybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, great restaurants right there. Most Myrtle Beach thing you've seen? Stumped her with that one.
I think it's like all the surf shops. Maybe the tsunami surf shops, or beachwear.
And I'm like, there's like a million of them, I'm like,
2 on every block. Or the
candy stores.
Are you gatekeeping local spots to people? Or are you recommending them? Recommending. Okay. So we talked about Angela's, Johnny D's. Is there another one that pops in your mind that you're like, go to this one too?
Well, this one isn't autism friendly or ready, but we really do enjoy Neil and Pam's.
Yeah, that is a great spot. That's a true local spot. Anything else on your end?
No, just appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was
some
great.
Great stuff. Learn. Make sure to check Becky out. So the website is Champion Autism
Network.com and autismtravel.club.
Okay. autism-travel.club.
And then you can get to Autism Travel Club from championautismnetwork.com because Champion Autism Network is an ambassador affiliate of the program here.
Cool. And then are you on like social, like Facebook, Instagram?
Of course,
of course. So I'm sure you're always posting stuff on there as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Becky. We appreciate you. And thanks for joining another episode of Beach Please Podcast.
Bye.